Talk to us sort of big picture, and again, we're getting these reports from the Journal that these are really big classified documents. How concerning is this to you?
It's concerning on multiple levels. One, we didn't know what the documents were, but it's very clear that if the FBI and the Department of Justice are going to do something this unprecedented, that clearly they're doing it for a reason. They have very real concerns, and they're also making sure that they're going to dot every I and cross every T. And so a lot of the rhetoric that I heard immediately from Republican leaders or Republican members of Congress was concerning because they immediately jumped to Donald Trump's defense. And we always learn with Donald Trump, when you defend him, a few hours or a couple days later, you find out more information that wish you haven't. And whether it's in politics or business, a key communications rule that always gets ignored is wait and see for a little bit. You know, if you rush to somebody's defense and they've fooled you a few times, they've cried wolf many times, you're going to end up regretting it. And you're starting to see some Republicans pull back or cancel press conferences.
Doug, let's just try to figure out some of the continued conversation that will evolve possibly on whether or not a president can or attempts to declassify certain information before leaving the White House. And then the degree of sensitivity when we're talking about top secret documents as we await more details on what specifically, is in these documents. But is there a pecking order in terms of this information versus some other top secret information?
There is, and there's not just a pecking order, but different processes that go through on this. And so when we first started hearing about that there were going to be nuclear secrets, well, we didn't know what that meant. It was more specific, but also very vague. Are those our secrets? Are those secrets that belong to our adversaries, our allies, things that we know about our adversaries that they don't know that we know? And there are different processes that the DOJ will go through, the DOD and the National Security Agency will go through in classifying and protecting these documents, given what they are, in which direction, whether they're foreign or domestic, and then how serious they are. But once we heard the nuclear word, we knew that we were in for some serious stuff here. It wasn't just a mere violation. And by the way, mere violation of the Presidential Records Act is an unprecedented big deal on its own. But this has gotten to some serious, dangerous territory.
One thing we love about having you here is we can go big picture. Outside the day-to-day, I was speaking with David Weston, and he said this is clearly not a constitutional crisis, but in our country, it feels like a little bit of a political crisis. Yeah. Do you see that?
Absolutely. And part of this is because of the political rhetoric surrounding this. So, a lot of the Republicans or enough of them who immediately jumped to Trump's defense said, defund the FBI, destroy the FBI is what Paul Gosar from Arizona said. Marjorie Taylor Greene posted a picture of an upside-down flag, which according to the flagpole, or the flag code, and she knows this, you only do that in cases of distress of extreme danger to life or property. So these aren't political messages. These are calls to arm. And what did we see? Somebody stormed the FBI. And following the series of violence that we've had, threats on public officials, going back 10 plus years now, up to now, it's very concerning, and we're sitting potentially on a powder keg.